Democrats win in terms of registration and I guess overall turnout is single women. But here's the kicker. They win single women by a lot. It's like 70-30 or something like that. So fascinating way that the country is going. I don't think Joy's analysis is necessarily accurate or really intelligently laid out, saying that, well, these people who are the noisemakers in Congress are the new leadership, and then to leave out all of the other younger leadership is, not going to do your side any good. But we'll leave that there because I don't want to belabor on our friends on The View for too long. And I want to get to this, and I hate to start your Monday out this way, but this is going to be, I think, a big story, considering the people that have all weighed in, and considering the fact that it didn't happen all that recently. Well, it happened about a month ago, I think. Two teenagers, it looks like from the video, stole a car in Las Vegas and were gallivanting around the streets. In the video, you're going to see them purposely drive into another car and then also lead up to this gentleman that you see on the bike right here and say, hit his ass, and among other things. Now, just so you know, I'm not going to play you the full clip where they do hit him. The video goes on for another 20 seconds of them hitting the guy, viewing him back on the street. But given the situation, I don't want to play that. So let me play you this clip and then kind of get your society is crumbling hats ready, because this is not good. Check this out.
All right, go. Go. Jeffrey, move in. Stop talking. Stop talking. Fuck wrong with blood. Ready? Yeah. Hit his ass.
And we'll end it right there because we don't need to see the entire thing. But here's what happened. Unfortunately, that man on the bicycle was a retired police chief who ended up dying in that accident. It's just terrible. The video started making the rounds, I believe, on Saturday, which a lot of people were completely outraged by. And then this surfaced the other day, too, which is why I think it's going to get a lot more attention than it has. This happened, I believe, August 18th or August 17th, so about a month ago. But the Las Vegas Review-Journal had an article about it initially that said, retired police chief killed in bike crash, remembered for laugh and love of coffee. Obviously, the problem there being bike crash being the operative term of how they believed that he was killed. Elon Musk then retweeted this yesterday, which is, again, why I think this is a bigger story. An innocent man was murdered in cold blood while riding his bicycle. The killers joked about it on social media, yet where's the media outrage? Now you begin to understand the lie. Just as a caveat, the article was published... let me see this. The article was published on August 18th and was clarified on August 31st that the driver intentionally hit the cyclist on the bike after the video was obtained. But at the end of the day, I don't know what we do here. I think, and there's another story out of Palmdale, California. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department had an officer just get shot in his car, and I don't want to at all make light of that. I'm just saying this is unfortunately not super surprising given the culture that we've crafted. I don't know what to do about this. I don't know what to say about it, really, other than society seems to be crumbling. And a lot of it, I think, stems from the idea that you can kind of just do whatever you want and get away with it. This happened in Nevada. I honestly don't know what the Nevada laws are like, but speaking as a person living in California and knowing the laws in California, several laws that are practiced by the state allow you to do dang near anything and be back out on the streets the next day and maybe show up to your court date, maybe not. Geez, you know what? I don't want to get like personal on here, but there's a guy that I knew that was hit by a hit and run driver in, I believe it was February of this year, and the lady was caught, but isn't going to get tried until next March, over a year away from when it happened. That is how backlogged the court systems are. That is how long it takes for a state that has issued rules that are untenable and releases people and doesn't bolster the system that needs to be able to operate in order to have a functioning society. And that's just one small example without getting into a bunch of details about that situation. But I guess the question ultimately is, what do we do here as a society? And I don't want to take this and make this like this happens everywhere, because fortunately it's not everywhere as of right now. But I don't really see a situation where this sort of stuff doesn't bleed over into other parts of America that doesn't have problems like this. Now, these two kids' names and identities are not being released as they are both juveniles. But after several people I know and love watched this video, they're like, you can't fix that. So, I don't know. Seems to be at the end of the day, this is a question of what direction are we going to take as a country? Continue down this line of, well, people only commit crimes because they're whatever, disenfranchised and this and that and the other thing, and it's okay. Or we're going to end up cracking down on people and criminals in general in order to ensure a safer society for the rest of us. I don't know. I'm hoping the latter. That being said, I think that's an interesting kind of segue into this. Less sad and less just bad overall, but kind of in that same line. And I actually don't know about this. What do we think about this new rule that was passed by the California legislature and likely to be signed by the governor? AB 65, and this is in California, and this is, again, I don't want to be California specific, but this is actually going to be interesting to see how this goes as an example for the rest of the country. AB 65 would authorize 6 California cities to set up and enforce speed cameras to issue automatic tickets for drivers going at least 11 miles an hour over the speed limit. I don't know how to feel about this. I have a knee-jerk reaction and an automatic, like, nope, don't like that, don't like more surveillance, don't like the government being in charge of more surveillance. I don't like it. At the same time, one of the things that I complain about the most is how crazy driving has gotten. And this is like around the country too. I travel quite a bit, and drivers pretty much everywhere have gotten you know this, right? Every time you drive, anytime you're going straight at a traffic light, 2 or 3 cars run the left-hand turn red light over in front of you. That just happens now. That didn't happen when I first got my driver's license, and I know it didn't happen before that. But that's just one example. People drive way too fast down residential streets and on freeways. They drive way too fast everywhere, and I often ask myself, how do we fix that? I'll tell you a little, I guess, personal decision making in my own life. I mentioned before, my wife and I were 1 click away from buying a Tesla. 1 click, literally a click there, and then we would have picked up our Tesla. But due to a lot of different factors, including this one, We decided instead to go the complete opposite direction and bought a big old F-150. Because I have a wife and daughter now, and I know how bad people drive, and my need to save money in gas and tax rebates from buying an electric car is not as great as my need for my family to be safe on the road with how crazy drivers have gotten nowadays, if that makes sense. And so laws like this, stuff like this happening, I don't know. What do you think in the comment section? Because I don't know. I'm curious. I don't know how to think about this. My knee-jerk reaction is absolutely not. Government doing surveillance, no, 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 no. But also, people drive like crazy people. And our entire law enforcement, one, is depleted because nobody wants to be a police officer anymore for a lot of reasons. And therefore, all of those law enforcement officers are being sucked away off of the streets and into actual crime scenes. And therefore, nobody is patrolling the roads. I don't know. I don't know what we should do about that. There's a bunch of people. Let me see. Matt, has anyone noticed people running red lights more often lately? Yeah, that's what I was saying at the beginning. Yeah, that's exactly. Everybody runs red lights all the time. I don't have a ton of time to like read these in real time, but seeing a lot of yeah. Okay, so this is also interesting. Larry says, "Hell no, cops need to do their jobs." This is what I would like. I would actually like more police officers patrolling the roads so that you don't have them being all sucked away into actual crime scenes. And being able to, I don't know, just have drivers drive recklessly everywhere. Last one. Jeanette says, yes, and those pesky red signs at corners mean nothing to people. Yeah. Let's see. Anyways, that's probably enough of that. I'm just curious. I don't know. Because this seems like it's going to be a thing that exists, I don't know how hard to fight back against it. On the one hand, again, I don't like government surveillance in any way, shape, or form. On the other hand, they need to enforce laws. Whew, I don't know. What a kind of a heavy day here. Well, we'll get to this. This is not heavy at all. This is not heavy, but it also kind of is a little bit. I don't know if you saw this. Over Oklahoma, Tulsa/Broken Arrow specifically, a pilot ejected out of an F-150, an F-35, I think, and the plane is now missing. I'm going to play you this broadcast report, and we'll discuss on the other side. Check this out.
But we begin tonight with breaking news. Military officials say they're responding to a, quote, mishap involving an F-35 fighter jet. Officials say the pilot of an F-35 Lightning II ejected from the jet and landed safely, but the search is on now for the missing F-35. They don't know where it is and are asking the public for help. Publicly available flight data shows sled flying over Lake Moultrie near Charleston. If you know anything, call Joint Base Charleston at 843-963-3600.
So something goes wrong in an F-35. The pilot ejects over Oklahoma. The plane keeps flying on autopilot. I mean, maybe if the mishap was him ejecting, maybe that was it. But the pilot ejects over Tulsa/Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, which we will be at October 7th, the Tulsa Little Theater in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then they find the plane on radar over Charleston? That's crazy. Just flying on autopilot. Also, it's an $80 million plane. So, not great from a taxpayer perspective. It's a lot of money to be just kind of flying around aimlessly. And also, if I were in the path of a rogue F-35 jet, I wouldn't be super excited about the going for the next 6 to 8 to 12 hours. Would be like, I hope I don't get smushed by a rogue jet just flying around overhead. I don't know. Just thought that was an interesting story that I think I wonder if the Biden administration / anybody will pay a price for that sort of thing. Marcel in the comment section is like, wait, what? Yeah. I guess I kind of thought people heard about this more, but yeah, this is happening like right now in real time. Like that report was like from 2 hours ago. The guy saying, yeah, somebody ejected over Oklahoma and the plane is just flying aimlessly nowhere. I wish I was surprised by crazy stories like this. I think like 10, 15 years ago, this story would have been like everywhere. But given how we do news in our politics, I just don't think it is. But anyways, yeah, wild story out of there. Let me bring this on since we have a decent amount of time left and ran through all the other stuff fairly quickly. I want to bring this into the fold. Get your anger / sad hat on. I hate that. I don't like that I kind of like to like make fun of like, I don't know, policy. Not just like show degrading society and culture as a whole, but I guess that's what we're doing on Today It Is a Monday. I'm deciding to ruin your week now so that any sort of positivity throughout the rest of the week is seen as, oh wow, that's cool. That's really nice. But in the continuation of ruining your Monday, I want to play you this clip. This is exactly what the Chiron says. Sad. This is absolutely sad. But these kids are screwed. Watch this, and we'll discuss briefly on the other side if you can stomach all of it. Check it out.
They are in a polyamorous relationship, and they all parent Hazel and Sparrow.
We have a 2-year-old antigender baby and a 10-year-old who is non-binary.
They have chosen not to disclose Sparrow's gender.
We don't know it yet. It's something that Sparrow's gonna have to figure out and then tell us.
But their parenting approach is controversial.
I have literally received death threats. Crazy, crazy lady. I hope karma hits you back and your kids grow up to detest you.
These polyamorous parents let their children choose their gender. And for their oldest child, Hazel, that's neither male nor female.
Please tell us how and why you decided to come out as non-binary.
Because the pronouns she and he did not fit. Non-binary was what I turned to, though I do choose to act and look more feminine. Can I go down now?
Of course.
And 2.5-year-old Sparrow has yet to make a choice about their gender.
Sparrow, do you want a banana? They're antigender, but we're using they, them pronouns. Sure, they have anatomy, we understand it, but like that's not indicative of their identity. It's something that Sparrow's gonna have to figure out and then tell us before we can tell anyone else.
Particularly because it's, you know, something that our parents did and they got it wrong.
I think Ryan in the comment section hit it on the head. Stop the planet. I'm getting off. Yeah. You know what I think? I mean, there's not really much that needs to be said about this. I feel like a lot of people kind of understand the ridiculousness of it on its head. But just two quick things. Have you ever been asked by a child if they could do something, and you say no, but you wonder why they asked? I set up this premise. Matt Walsh was on their Daily Wire Backstage podcast and said, my 6-year-old came and said, can I have a saw? And he's like, no, but just out of curiosity, why? And he said, I want to cut down a 40-foot tree to build lumber for a fort, to have lumber for a fort. And that example to me and to everybody should be kind of the benchmark of understanding that kids don't get reality yet. And they will. And your job as a parent is to help them understand reality. But just overall, kids don't understand how things work, and therefore the decisions that they make should not be taken seriously. Unless, of course, they're completely innocuous things. Do you want peas or carrots for dinner? Doesn't matter. Go ahead and trust your kid on that opinion that they have. But when kids are left to decide life-changing things at, what, 10 years old and 2 years old? To say that that's bad parenting is to understate. Just from the sense of kids are dumb. I can't get around. I got to figure out a nicer way to say that. I keep getting heat. I got a ton of heat for just saying kids are dumb on Candace Owens' show. I still there are still comments that just ran like once a month. I get a comment saying kids aren't dumb because that clip is still out there floating around. And anyways, but I stand by it. I'm not backing down. Kids are dumb. I just got to think of a nicer way to say it. So there's that point of like they don't understand reality. And then the second point is the idea of gender conformity has just an inherent flaw at the very onset of it. Take, for example, girls, right? If girls do girly things, right? Let's just like play with dolls and Barbies and stuff. The super woke people that are all about gender ideology and women's studies and all that say, well, they're only playing with dolls because society's conditioned them in a way so that they think that this is a stereotype of girls. Girls can do anything. And I believe that, but at the same time, I believe that girls want to play with dolls more. That's just how it is. So on one side, they are saying, well, these girls want to play with dolls because society has conditioned them to do so. While at the same time, if a boy, in their mind, who they think is a transgender boy, and he wants to play with dolls, they say, oh my gosh, he must be a girl. Which, again, is crazy, but that's the way that some people think. But to not see the polar opposite argument being made in these young kids who are normal kids, playing with dolls, girls, that's society crap. That's a culturally crafted stereotype that is thrust upon them. But this boy who's playing with dolls and therefore is a transgender girl, no, that's totally innate. There's nothing they could do about that. This transgender girl was born this way. Okay, but you're also making, in the same statement, you're making the argument that these girls playing with dolls weren't born this way, and it's societal conditioning, but the transgender girl, who was a boy playing with dolls, she was born that way, and that's why we know he's a girl. I don't know. I feel like that argument isn't made enough. Like on its face, you can't believe both things at the same time. It's just not, that's like believing this desk is a desk and also a Clydesdale. I don't know, a horse. You can't think the same things. You can't think both of those things at the same time. There's this. Ed said, that story's from 2 years ago. Yeah, it probably is. But I hadn't seen it, and it's making a resurgence on the internet. And that doesn't mean that it's any less crazy. I would like to see an updated version of this. Where are these people at now? Have they disclosed the gender of their 2-year-old daughter 2 years later? A lot of people, again, saying stuff that is not surprising to anybody. But I don't know, man. Not good. Not a good, like, not a good thing to be celebrating in our modern culture. But what are you going to do? Push back as hard against it as you possibly can, I guess. But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you sticking around, tuning in. I know we're late because we're late every single day. Chances of us being on tomorrow are slim. I'm going to Flagstaff, Arizona by chance. to go table with my good friend Charlie Kirk, sit on the walk and talk to students. So I think my flight's at like 6 a.m. So if for some reason I land in Phoenix and can do the show from the Phoenix office, sweet. We'll see you tomorrow. But I think a 90% chance that we're gonna not be on tomorrow and then resume on Thursday. Thursday? No, what's today? Monday? Wednesday. There we go. Cool. I appreciate you sticking around, tuning in. If you haven't already, give me a follow on any of your social media platforms. Just type in JOBOB. There are about, the thing had a percent, there are about 8% of tickets left. I don't know how many tickets are left for the Fallbrook show on Saturday, but Fallbrook, California, we will be at Saturday. Whatever the number, I think there's like 300 seats. 8% of 300 is, oh geez, now I'm going to do it in my head, 24. There are 24 tickets left if you'd like to come see myself and the Elephant Party Improv Group in Fallbrook, California this Saturday. Also, where the pilot ejected from his seat over Broken Arrow / Tulsa, Oklahoma. We will be on October 7th, October 6th in Van Buren, California, November 17th in Twin Falls, and then a litany of comedy tour dates next year. So yeah, stay tuned for that. You can follow all that on social media. We'll see you. I almost said we'll see you tomorrow. We will probably not see you tomorrow, but maybe. Until then, see ya. God bless America.